Good morning. All right, so it's the holidays at the time of recording this, but I knew that I've always wanted to have different components to the trader lifestyle. And I'm huge on working out, I'm huge on developing mind, body, and soul. I will also have a playlist for motivational stuff, daily, you know, not just for, like interpersonal skills. But, anyways, so I don't necessarily have a formal video introducing myself to everything that this channel is about, but I wanted to lean into this um, and just go ahead and make it the first because sometimes, if you're kind of like me, we can get hung up on like all the different things we want to do. I do want to encourage you to check out my store link. It's definitely on my Instagram. I changed my username to this chick trades IWM. Um, Probably need to do that for YouTube as well too. Right now, it's just still Trader Chick. Um, and so I've curated a list of all the things that work for me up until this point. And so, just to kind of give you a little bit of insight on how restarted my fitness journey. I've always liked fitness. My family kind of, the religion that we're in and everything. And just I think my parents' personalities too, they're into fitness. And it's just something that I've I wouldn't say struggled, but just kind of try to figure out how to step into my own. And this is not the first time I've lost weight, but love every part of the journey. And it's just been interesting as I retrospect, on being too busy, being too sore. Why did I fall off? Why didn't I prioritize certain things, right? But um, that aside, I really want to express how much excitement I have for this that you see on your screen right here. Um, so, oh yeah, so what I was talking about is I have this year increased my steps from like I want to say 1,000 to 2,000 steps to like I think like the next jump was it might have been 5,000, 10,000, and then just within November went from 12,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 steps in like less than 3 weeks. Um, I do get my steps in. I like to get up at 4 in the morning and do a good I'd say 4 to 5,000 steps. Sometimes it's 6,000 before I, shower and get ready to come on live and do pre-market analysis. And then at lunch, I pack my protein smoothies or whatever I'm going to eat at work. And then at lunchtime is where I get in another 6,000 steps. And shy of there being it raining, I will go out when I've gone out for walks in the summer when it's like 100, I'd say like 98 degrees, and I just keep really cool. I have another like hack for that too, to deal with like the sweatiness and staying fresh. But so I get another 6,000 steps in at lunchtime. Right now we're in rainy season. I'm on vacation, so I'm working I'm at home, but I still get my steps in around the house. Thankfully, there's enough square footage that I can do a lot of the walking inside my house. I've thought about getting a treadmill, but truth be told, I kind of like being able to just walk throughout the house. It's just tied to how my brain works. So but and then when I get home is where I will just depending on how stressed I am, walking really does help. But what I want to kind of emphasize to you is I'm getting a lot of steps in per day. And um if you know anything about like recovery, yeah, you're gonna absolutely feel that, especially when you're easing into it. You are building muscle, tearing down muscle, and so a lot of the times I couldn't push further because I would get out of bed the next day and I would feel that I had walked 5,000 steps. I would feel that I had done like day. I would feel, and so it was just like this added component of having to um, push through the pain, right? So if you're into fitness, health, athleticism, sports, as someone who used to play in basketball in high school and that type of a thing, and still have, didn't really become competitive athlete or anything like that, but I like weightlifting, bodybuild. Like, no, I haven't even done bodybuilding, but I love everything that comes with lifting weights and stuff like that. So you are going to be sore. You're probably familiar with like being very sore on leg day, and we laugh about it, and we learn to push through the pain. But all of this to say, like, how long have I been recording? 5 minutes. All right, let's jump into it. All of that to say, I recently discovered ginger oil in a roundabout way, and baby, let me tell you, I've only had it for like a week, but one of the things I love about this and everything else that's on my curated store list is when that stuff works, it works. And it may seem like a lot, but what I like about my list of stuff that I have, it works. And I think also, it kind of saves you from having to go out and have to look for stuff, because for everything I've tried, a lot of my decluttering has to be with stuff that doesn't work, right? Or hasn't worked, or I just missed the mark by a little bit. But I would say, like, this is gonna help you with your post day recovery. So what I like to do for my routine, so there's three products. I think I put it on the title. So I put ginger oil, um, magnesium oil. I'm gonna go over the two brands, the two other brands that I bought as well, and those will be added to my store link as well, um, on my Instagram. And at some point, I'll put it on here because I'm just tiny me, just loving building my brand and everything that comes with it, right? So with this, the reason I even have a two pack on here is because, as long as you're not like allergic to anything, you're not super sensitive, just go ahead and get the two. It is a little bit on the smaller side. The bottle is a little bit on the smaller side. Um, right now, maybe I'm just being a little tiny bit paranoid, but it was so good that I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be using this twice a day, right? So um, definitely after you're done working out, like the way I like to use it is, yes, I will come home and I'm switching my routine to where, like I said, I'll get my walks in, morning and lunch. And then I like to do weight training in the PM. So everything about my life is like very curated. I understand, you know, when I'm doing certain things and why I'm doing certain things. So the AM walk is about, especially when you're going into trading, you want to like relax your mind. And walking has been such a savior for me. Um, but it helps me just clear my mind. And it helps me because I can tell the difference before when I would still wake up early, and take my shower and everything else. But the way I felt between coming on and doing my pre-market analysis and trading versus getting my adrenaline, out my system, it kind of relaxes me. Um, I've also done strength training in the morning, but from what I understand, strength training is better in the PM. If you the only time you have to do strength training is in the AM, that's fine. But I'm telling you, kind of like everything I do, I've researched it and I'm methodical about it. So I do my strength training. I'm transitioning to where I'm doing my strength training in the PM. So then after that's done and I'm all sweaty and stuff like that, got my protein in. I'm still trying to deliberate between, like, some days I'll do protein before my workout, sometimes I'll do it after my workout, shower, and then after you get out the shower. So what you do, well, this really could turn into a whole. Let's try to keep it as simple because now, so after you shower, you put the ginger oil, and it is so smooth, you guys, that I loved how it made my skin look, that I was like, I'm using this in the day too. And when you use it in the morning, as well, it just kind of helps give you support and carry over. When I tell you this stuff is potent, um, I used it on my legs and I'm getting out of bed like I didn't just walk 15,000 miles, whew, 15,000 steps, 20,000 steps, right? Today I'm gonna be doing 30,000 steps, so I'm gonna see how that carries over into tomorrow. But baby, let me tell you, when I put this on my legs, got out of bed the next morning, I said, "What? What?" Okay. And then the other thing I do for bedtime routine is I use like a body tool gua sha. It's bigger. It's bigger than the one that you use for your face. It's like a body gua sha one. I'm pretty sure I have it. We can probably look it up here, but I use that for my legs, and so use upward strokes, and I use the edge that has that, they're like tiny teeth, and then when if you want to kind of like amplify it, you can use it with the magnesium spray, and you might feel a little bit of tingling, but that's because your body is depleted of the magnesium that you need. But you will, the more you use it over time, your body will get, the levels will be efficient to where you won't feel that tingling anymore. And so then what I do is, so I use the ginger oil, I use the body gua sha, and you can kind of feel just the, your blood vessels opening up and everything, but it does cause a little, like tiny little bit of discomfort, but I know what it is, right? And then I will go back in, and that's why I said like this you will go through it pretty quickly if you're kind of using it that same way. Um, if you're kind of using that same strategy for the nighttime routine, and then yeah, I go back in with a second dose, and I just kind of massage it back into my legs until they, feel like relaxed and stuff. And here's another thing too, like on the bottom of your foot, like the arch. So after using it for a couple of days, I was like, man, this stuff is so good. But I was like, it's not gonna do nothing to the bottom arch of my foot. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I'm gonna bed. I was worried about it being a little bit slippery, but I was like, I'm just gonna put a little bit, like literally, the viscosity of it is so smooth. I put it like just a little bit on my finger and put it like in the arch of my foot, baby. When I tell you that was last night, this morning, and I was like, nah, we are starting a series today, and I know you have other stuff, but no, this is how I feel about all the other products, and I can kind of explain to you why I'm taking it, why it's good, the benefits of it. So, long story short, this also has the benefit of like lymphatic drainage. Another thing too, I did use it to massage my belly this morning, and it just, you could feel like it's nothing drastic, but you just feel the gentleness, like how it absorbs to your stomach. Okay, boom. So let's quick on move on really quickly to the next one, which is the magnesium spray. Let's move on quickly, quickly. So this is the brand I use for for myself, and it lasts a long time. I got my mom and my aunt hooked on this. Let me see if it's gonna let me. So with this one, it lasts a long time. So boom, how do you? Where did I pick that up from? So how do you use this? So with this, I actually started using this because I would say like I had like my feet would get cold at night, and I figured it had to do with especially my right foot would get like really cold at night, and I had read somewhere that this can help with that, and it just has to do with relaxing your legs, right? I had stopped using it after a little bit. I don't know why. Well, part of the reason is like I keep it by my bed, and if I would get a Charlie horse, I say our family says Charlie horse, but it's a Charlie horse. So if you felt like your leg tightening up, as soon as I felt it, I would spray it on my calf, and it wouldn't even get to the full strength of the pain at all. And so, but I've had to use less and less of it over time. Really, is what it came down to. Um, But another cool thing about this too is if you add this to your nighttime routine, I like how I added it last night to the ginger oil. When I tell you I slept like a baby last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten. It's because I'm clicking on all this stuff right here. Can you take me back to this? Okay. So the other thing too is you can rub it on, like spray it on your stomach, which your body will absorb it through your stomach too. So I do that at night just to like help with like the relaxation and absorbing through my stomach. I also spray it under my armpits. Um, I used to spray it in the mornings because it is kind of like a body deodorizer. But when you shave and then use it, do not recommend. And so I just kind of stopped doing that. But it's the winter, and I'm not, I still have maybe like a good couple months before spring comes around. I'm going to start wearing my tank tops again. But if the for the ladies, like I'm not shaving under. No, don't need to. Just enjoy. Just gonna enjoy it, right? So I spray under there, and that also helps with bioabsorbability, but it also helps with odor control. Um, and so, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I did that last night. I just sprayed the arcs of my feet as well, and then I put the ginger oil, and then I sprayed the magnesium, and then I went back over with the ginger oil, and I just gave healthy sprays. But this will last you a long time. But yeah, it will also help you with sleep and like body odor, like I said too. It is a little bit sticky, it is sticky, so you're just gonna have to figure out. I think part of the reason I'm comfortable like spraying it on my stomach, I think in the winter, is because I'm wearing like a couple of layers of warm stuff. In the summer, it can be depends on what you wear to go to bed, but I'm gonna warn you, it is sticky. Same thing for your feet too. Like you might want to, like I said, I think it's great with the ginger oil because even though it's sticky, like spray it, let it sit a little bit. Maybe like a minute. It doesn't even take that long. Like if you look at the reviews, people will talk about how it works for like within a minute, right? Um, is there anything else? So there's that, and then this is something I want to try, this ginger oil, not ginger, magnesium oil. I'm like, for how good it worked, I want to try this right here. I do look at how much reviews. So this is the same thing, right? Yeah, this is the same thing. This one has 35,000. This one has, yeah, it's the same brand. Um, this is a refill bottle with a high percentage, but I was looking at this, um, and you do need to dilute it, okay? So there's that. And then I do need to remember to add to my storefront also the body wash shop thing. I'm gonna see if I can find, because I don't want to log into my account with my personal information in there, but I can try to find it. And like I said, I think it was like this one. I think it was not this specific one because I would have looked at the unless I'm one of those 5 people that bought that specific brand. Watch me be one of the 5. Actually, I can look on my. Let me look up on my phone. But yeah, it looks just like this, except that mine is pink. It kind of looks just it, but mine is just ever so slightly different because mine has. Um, if I can try to find a brand real quick on my phone. Track and manage your orders. And so you want it to be larger. And the other thing is, um, I like to use this part on my legs. Yeah, this is not the one I bought it from. I bought it from this one. So let's go. Oh yeah, this one did have 2, didn't it? All right, let me type it in. It was the brand IUNXKM. KMI. And then it was called Body KM. K. Did they sell out? This one had 123. Oh, it's not. Oh, wait. KMI. Let's try that. N. I kind of do low key need glasses, you guys. And so I am struggling to. KMI. And I've known this for a little while now. Mm-mm. Hmm. But long story short, I mean, if you wanted to, you could look at mine. Is kind of like this one. Oh man, it sucks that I can't find it. If I do find it, I will add it to my store because I'm very particular, and so I remember looking through this. Let me see if there's another thing I can do to find it. Oh, I don't know why it keeps Hmm. We're not gonna spend too much longer on this. But what I liked was that the teeth of it. I would say the closest model that I can see right now is gonna be this one. Mine has bigger teeth um, than this, and let's try pink. Let me try pink. And then another thing is, and it's not that I like pink, but it wasn't that I was looking for it in pink. It had to, there was a video or TikTok I saw, and the one that she bought, I think it looks kind of like this one. And that's what made me want to look for something that has like a flat surface and, the thicker teeth on it. This might be a good one here too. Right. And then this you can use. I also use it for my stomach. I'm gonna try, which was very nice too, like very comforting. So let me see, because there's other stuff that's listed on here. So it's still alive. I just don't know. Are you? I don't know why it keeps taking off the spelling of what I'm putting in. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one that I bought. I don't remember. I already have a green gua sha that I use for my face. I use that every morning, sometimes at night. But this is the one I bought. This is the brand. So right here. Glad I found it. I think I got, yeah, this is the one I got, like this specific color right here. So pretty. And so this one is nice for like my stomach. I use this part side for my stomach. This side I'll alternate on my legs for here and here. And this one is much better quality than the first one I showed you because it has some weight to it, and it has a little bit more how to explain it, but it has like more girth to it. Um yeah. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Like I said, I'll add what I can on my stores. Was there anything else? I think that was it. So get you some. Because what I love about this, the idea as I close it out, is that you don't you no longer need to have, pain be something holding you back. Like, oh, I'm just so sore that I just can't get my steps in or my workouts in. The other thing I use is ginger oil too. It is good for like lymphatic, so it's good for like if you're using gua sha. I wouldn't put it on my face. I did look to see if it's non-comedogenic, but like on your neck, um, on your lymphatic points, like right by your not your armpits, but like right below your collarbone. I like to use it back of my arms, um, and then anywhere where I feel sore, like for me, it's my forearms or anywhere where I want to encourage um, like blood circulation, which this makes so much sense too because it has arnica extract, which is also really great for like circulation. So, anyways, long story short, I hope this was helpful to you. 25 minutes, that's fair. All right. Like I said, I look forward to doing more of these. I'll just add them to a playlist that's aside and separate from like our trading stuff. I'm probably gonna record some motivational stuff. I'm kind of thinking like chicken soup for the trader, and even though that one's a little bit more curated, I might have another playlist that's like really talking about some of the stuff that traders go through and how to protect your mindset, develop your mindset, and push through a lot of the barriers that it's like you are gonna have to put in the work for it and do the mental work behind it, but at least you kind of know what to work on and the tools that are out there available to you, or kind of progress your thinking a little bit. But it is inner work that you kind of have to do. It's all a part of the journey. I think that most traders, I mean, the stuff you see on social media, for the most part, they just focus on trading, but there's so much more that comes with it. Being disciplined, being healthy, eating healthy. I know that this is one of the first years where I started to lock in, and I just kept asking, but it's part of my personality, and it's just grown over the years. And so, this just really helped me take it to the next level because I would ask myself, like, well, I'm really tired at night. How do I make sure I get rest? So that I wake up rested in the morning? How do I take things to help with my brain clarity in the morning and throughout the day? Because mental fatigue is a thing, So it was important for me to not only wake up and have my cognitive strength in place, but when I go to work, I deal with a lot of data in high volumes. And so just protecting my cognitive throughout that as well. I am a girly girl, so I love to have glowing skin, healthy hair. Um, I also understand the importance of recovery when it comes to working out and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you glow from the inside, it's gonna go to the outside too. But a lot of it is discipline, showing up, getting back up, even on red days or losses and stuff like that, and putting places and things in place like journaling. If you're not getting motivation from the people around you, how do you pour into yourself and listen to podcasts or resources that are available? But anyways, yep, let's just keep this short, sweet, and to the point. But this is what we on. This is what we going into. I know I'm different than other traders, and I have to. This is part of me embracing it. I've just always been different. Um, a lot of this ties into, like I said, my personality. Um, and like I said, it is a component of trading. But I'm very passionate about well-being. And hey, who doesn't want to? The more healthier you are, the more profitable you can become, the more disciplined you can become. They all are interconnected. And listen, we're going to be traveling places. You probably might get yourself a new bay, or not even. You're just going to hang out with the friends and or do the solo trips. But you want to look good, in that new clothes that you're going to be buying, in those new locations that you're going to be at. You want to be able to look in the mirror and be like, damn, who is that staring back at me that's all profitable and ish? You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. I think I will definitely be back because I want to try to record one of my chicken soup for the souls. And there's another um, podcast I want to do that's just like kind of, I guess, like raw, talking about motivation. that I feel like I need to, for myself, it's gonna be cathartic, but to get it off my chest as well too. So, like I said, it's Christmas vacation, New Year's vacation. I have some time to get some content out and start to set new parameters for even like my capacity to put output as a content creator. Anyways, love you all. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's still on. Here we go.